Here we are again, LAX, another flight on the Dre Sanchez YouTube channel. So thanks for joining me again today. We are taking this Cessna Citation 2550 from LAX all the way up to Charles Schultz Airport. It's a regional and general aviation airport, and it is in Santa Rosa, California. So, second recorded flight in this Cessna Citation 2550. So we'll see how interesting this ends up being. We should be just fine. Let's go ahead and jump on board. All right, now we are on board this wonderful aircraft here. Let's go ahead. We're on the ground power right now, of course. So let's go ahead and get everything initialized the way we should. We are flying on Pilotedge today. So this ought to be an interesting flight. All right, track IR coming on here. Let's go ahead. For now, let's remove the yoke. We'll fly with it, but we'll remove it for now. That way we can see what's going on here. All right, so if you can see here, we are going to most certainly be looking at the all the battery powers and double checking all of our switches and gauges and things of that nature. You can see here's our electrical panel. Once we do get everything turned on, we're going to most certainly be using this panel in order to ensure that we have all of our avionics on, generators and things of that nature. Then we can come up here. We're just doing a quick orientation with this cockpit here. This is our comms area, and this is our voltage. Once we do get the batteries on, here is our fuel boost, of course, right here. And this is what we'll use for our ignition to start the aircraft. We'll turn the battery on here in a minute once we finish orientating ourselves. Obviously, this is our PFD, our primary flight display here, and this will be our HSI, where we'll be able to see our lateral limits. Down here, we've got all of our internal lights here, and then here these are landing and functional external lights, and these are also exterior lights here as well. We can check the oxygen supply and all that jazz over here, along with our plugins. Then of course, if we want to come over to this panel here, we will also notice that we have some different gyro features, defrosting stuff here. This will be kind of your de-icing panel as well for the windshield and things of that nature. And then the rest of this stuff is kind of redundant stuff. All this nav stuff we can use here, but we are going to be using the Garmin GT N750. So without further ado, let's go ahead and make sure that all our parking brake is set. This is going to be our autopilot control panel here. Another CDU here that we won't be using. Of course, we have a speed brake on board. Here's the retract and extend. We also, this plane does have reversers, so we will be using that as well. Let's come down here and just make sure this parking brake is, you can see it's pulled out, which is perfect. And then the landing gear is down, and we will have 3 greens. So I don't think there's any way for us to really connect or disconnect ground power. So we'll just do our best to make that happen. So without further ado, we are going to be turning on our avionic power, and we also need to make sure that we turn AC power on.
Ground Bonanza 204 Lima
and
Echo,
you
continue.
can see
Bonanza,
we already have
204 Lima Echo, runway 20
our
right, taxi,
GPS here
Bravo,
activated. So
Bravo Kilo
let's
20 right, Bonanza 204 Lima Echo.
get out of here.
Ground
Right
5
now
Juliet
we're
Lima,
on
right,
LAX
taxi,
ground.
No, 5 Juliet
So
Lima,
we'll
runway 15, taxi via Bravo.
We'll switch that off of ground, of course, and let's maximize this. And I might have to fix a view up here. Okay, no, I've already fixed it before, so that's good. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to get some charts information here so that we can look at all the frequencies and all that good stuff here. So here's the ATIS, which we're going to be tuning into, and clearance is 120.35. So here's again where we will most certainly be using our comms 1 and 2 stacks here so that we can change the frequencies. And you can see here's redundant frequencies. They're matching up here. and then these other the secondary comms 2
792
frequencies are
Charlie
down
Alpha,
here.
point good
So if we
departure
do
rate,
want to
contact
switch
climb and
those
maintain
for
8,000.
monitoring the second comms, matter of fact, we'll do that. So let's go ahead and put on our ATIS of 13380. So as you can see here, that's what we're programming. Now we could just click it here, but it would automatically feed it into here. We want to monitor comms too. So now we just click that switch to switch it over to 13380, and now we can even just come over here and monitor comms
Vector
too.
for visual approach will be provided.
Now you can
Simultaneous
see
visual
that
approaches
we
to all
are
runways
getting
are
our
in
ATIS.
progress. Simultaneous instrument departures in
So let's
progress.
listen to this.
VFR departures contact clearance delivery. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information whiskey.
Okay, whiskey's current.
Los Angeles International Airport. ATIS information whiskey. 0153 Zulu. Wind 320 at 7. Visibility 10. Few clouds at 6,000. Few clouds at 25,000. Temperature 19er. Dew point -13. Altimeter 3019er. Arriving runways 4 right, 25 left. Departing runways 24 left, 25 left,
1180 heavy
25
contact,
right.
LA Tower
ILS, runway 24 right and
120.95,
25 left approach in use or vector for visual approach will be provided. Simultaneous
DBM
dual
2 Charlie
approaches
Alpha, turn
to all.
left, direct
Okay, so we can
VOR, resume on navigation.
go ahead and turn that off, and let's go ahead and get
DBM
our
2 Charlie Alpha,
clearance.
contact Los Angeles,
well.
135.5.
So with the clearance, now we can just simply tuck that in. If we just simply hit this, it's going to go right here. Now that's LAX clearance, and then we could just switch it over. So this is really nice to in order to get our frequencies. You can see ramp controls here, ground, and it just depends on what side we're on. There's 2 different sides, so you need to know actually which frequency is for north ground and right ground. The way that you actually do that, you're going to have to come back over here to our airport info. See, actually, we'll go back here. We'll go to the airport diagram. Let's make this a full diagram.
Montgomery clearance 0617.
Now, if you pull this in, it should also have the frequencies here. So you can see here, right now, we are considered to be south. So if we're looking here for our ground communication, you can see west, north, and south. So technically, we should be 12175 for being south of the field. So that's what we'll end up programming in. Actually, let's do that now. So
maintain 3,000, expect 6,000 in 10 minutes.
Enter that.
Departure frequency
LAX ground right
119.6.
there, which would be just fine.
And the squawk
So
code
let's go ahead
4164.
and pick up our clearance. We should be departing today on the
Clear John
Lady
Wayne via heading
J4 departure.
270 vectors to Oceanside, then it's filed. Climb maintain
Just wait for
3,000,
them to finish,
6,000,
and
10
then we'll
minutes.
get ourselves
Departure
in there.
119.6. Squawk 4164. 7 Lima Yankee. Number 617 Lima Yankee, read back correct. For 5 Julia Lima, Burbank Tower,
Almost did
runway
it.
15, cleared
Didn't
for
quite
takeoff, wind 3.
Make it happen. So let's wait for this traffic.
Julia.
Los Angeles clearance, November 350 Kilo Tango, looking for IFR to Santa Rosa. We'll wait for the response.
We're 350 Kilo Tango LA clearance. Cleared to the Santa Rosa Airport. Lady J4 departure, correction. Lady J4 departure, core is transition. And that's filed. Columbia acidics, I maintain 5,000. Departure frequency 125.2, squawk 4321.
Cleared to Santa Rosa, Lady J4 star, or SID, excuse me, and then Corez transition. Climb via SID, except maintain 5,000. Departure frequencies 125.2, squawking 4321, November 350 Kilo Tango.
Number 0 Kilo Tango, read back correct. November 204 Lima Echo,
All right,
contact.
so
Contact
read back is
departure.
correct.
Going through departures.
So now if we come back here and look at the map, and let's get this radio turned off here for a second. So we just turned that off, so we're not going to be receiving anything right now. So anyway, let's take a look where we're at. More than likely, they're going to give us 25 left, potentially 25 right, but I'm going to assume they're going to give us 25 left to depart since we're parallel to this runway. So let's go ahead and start typing in a flight plan here. So here we already have LAX programmed in here, which is a marvelous thing. So now we're just going to literally click on this and add a procedure. So we'll load our departure, which is going to be the Lady J4. and we're doing 25 left, and we're doing the Corres transition, and then we'll go ahead and load that departure, and then we'll scroll down and finish getting the rest of our route in there, which the next one is R good. So that's Romeo G00. It's here already. All right, from R good, we're also going to do the Oakland VOR of Oscar Alpha Kilo. Let's see here, Oakland OAK, but it's coming here, and we want this to be, it's not Oaks, so that's incorrect. Let's get rid of that. Let's remove that waypoint. Okay, and let's add a waypoint again. It should be OAK, and I wonder if, see, I don't want this. I don't want the fast find. I'm trying to figure out why it is not letting us. Yeah, we don't want Oaks. We want Oakland. So that's interesting. It's showing up here. It is a VOR, but it won't, and it's going to this Oaks. I'm going to go ahead and check my let me check my Navi graph here on this route and just take a look and see if Oaks and Oakland are there. If not, we'll leave that kind of right where it's at. Okay, there's our good, and it said our next one is Oakland. Okay. So this is where it gets tricky, where I'm trying to enter this VOR, but it is not allowing me to simply, and it comes up here, but I don't want to do the fast find. So I'm curious as to how we bypass the fast find. Let's just go enter, see if that works. Oh, it works like that. I didn't know it did that. So you don't have to click on the fast find. So I just found something out, folks. So learning something new every day. All right, so you don't have to click on that fast find, which I'm accustomed to. You could just literally hit enter and it'll open, and here's the VOR right here. So that works out marvelously for me. And then now we're gonna go to another VOR of Sausalito, and then we're gonna be direct to the Santa Rosa VOR. Duplicates found, that's all right. STS shows up, so that's okay. And then of course we're going to be direct to Santa Rosa. From there we'll probably get some vectors from air traffic control, and that should complete our route. Now if we want to go ahead and look at the preview of it, we can do so right here. It's a nice smooth basically northwestern route, starting here where you can see our aircraft culminating in landing still on the coast, pretty much staying on the coast. We're a little bit off the coast once we come here, more of inland. However, once we get to our destination, we're back pretty much right there on the coast, just north west of Oakland slightly. So that's all taken care of. Now one thing we want to do over here is come to the map, and we want to make sure that this CDI is on GPS, which it is, and that stands for our course direction indicator. So this is going to feed the information over to the HSI and all of our flight navigation information, so that we're getting it here, of course. Now if you come here and you're looking for nav source, we can see we have it on GPS, but if you click through here, obviously and click up and down, you can select it, but we are going to stay on GPS, of course. And the HSI, we're showing wind, and we're showing the XY axis. Let's see, heading, okay, that'll be fine there. Now map, let's see, on the map we'll get the TCAS and everything up once we get in the air, so I'm not too concerned about that. And then of course, based off the ATIS, the altimeter is 3019, so we're going to want to also fix that. 3019, that's put in there. And then we're going to come over here, and we also want to put our squawk code in, which is 4321, and we'll just go ahead and turn that beacon on so that we don't forget. Let's see here, altitude reporting, and we're going to enter that. Now there's our 4321 squawk, and then we'll type our departure in of 125.2. 2. Of course, we have the radios off right now. In the meantime, let's also look at where we're at. We are on the South Atlantic Aviation Ramp here. So we'll just say we're on the South General Aviation Ramp, close to Atlantic Aviation and Taxiway Alpha 6, so that they know where we are at. Now, of course, one of the things that we need to do is we need to adhere to the altitude that we were given for our departure. So we need to set this for 5,000. And we're going to be coming up on that shortly here. All right, 5,000. There we go. Now, just to give you guys an idea of some of the things we have to do, because this is a simulator world. When we're in the air and we change the heading and course and all that good stuff, it's going to indicate here on this. But the way that we have to angle it to see it, you know, as far as for our POV or our perspective, the controls are down here, and this is where all the autopilot stuff is. This is actually where we'll engage everything. Autopilot's here, yaw dampers here. This is how we manage our climb if we're in the vertical speed mode and all that. But in order to truly see that, once we do it, I've set this view up right here, so we'll be able to see the heading stuff here, and this is how we'll manipulate it with this, of course. A lot of times it won't be necessary to sync it up, because you can just come right here on the top and push this button in, and it'll sync the heading to wherever the plane is facing. So without any further ado, let's get our engines on and let's get out of here. So we're just going to be doing our general flows. Let's see, we said parking brake is set. We have 3 greens, and we are fully back in the idle position. No reversers are on. Flaps are up and stowed. We'll probably be doing a flaps 20 takeoff, because I did make this aircraft heavier. Not that we need to, because we got plenty of runway. We could still do a flap 7 if we wanted to and get to about 95 KIS, and we'll be just fine. So let's go ahead now and get our beacon on, and let's make sure our nav lights are on as well, which are the lights at the wingtips. And I believe we are good for a start. So what we're going to do now, in order to make this a good start, is we are going to turn on our boost pump and our right ignition, and all we do is click that trusty button and monitor engine rising. See here the turbine coming up. And let's see, we have to unlock that and move it forward. There we go. So fuel has been introduced now. See the RPMs coming up. All right, we've got plenty of fuel on here. We have approximately 4,494.2 pounds of fuel. That engine is up and stable. We'll wait to get the generators on. We'll go ahead and start the other one. So same thing here, up on the ignition, up on the fuel boost. We're gonna go ahead and start that. Let the turbine start coming up. All right, it's at 20%. Back over here. All right. You can hear those engines coming alive. And in the meantime, we can go ahead and disconnect the ground power. All right, now the ground power is disconnected. You can go with the right generator. You saw the DC volts come up, and now we saw the DC volts come up for both of them, so those are most certainly on. Now we can also turn our pitot heat on, and let's see what else we need to turn. Our generators are on, fuel boost is on. We don't need any of this all. This is our anti-ice panel, so that's good. So everything so far is looking good. Let's come over here to our annunciator panel. Okay, so we need our anti-skid. The door is not locked, and the fuel boost pumps are on, so we'll get those off in here in a second. So now that the aircraft is started up, let's go ahead and get that main door closed. Alright, that main door is closed, and then also too, we have to come and activate the anti-skid, which is right here. Anti-skid is on, and now we'll turn our ignitions off, or our boost pumps. Alright, boost pumps are to normal. And now you can see everything on the annunciator panel is extinguished. Then of course we can come here. Here's all our cabin pressurization and all that good stuff. In the meantime too, sometimes it'll get dark in here, so let's get our panel, our floodlights on. Let's just make it a bright cockpit for us. There we go. So that we have some little accent lighting on here and all that good stuff. And now the one thing I am going to look for is our flap indicator. I don't remember where it is on this aircraft, so just bear with me. This is our angle of attack. Let's see, it may go on this front dash here. I thought it was in this area here, or even further down, like a steam gauge on this one, but clearly it's not. Okay, so what I want you guys to do, keep an eye out for that gauge for me. Otherwise, we're just going to physically let it do its thing. As you can see there, the flaps are there, and that's where it indicates as well. There's this little piece right here to let you know that flaps are down. I don't see any other gauge giving us that information, so let's come over here and just make sure our temperature control is set to auto, manual cold, and there's our windshield stuff. We don't need any of that right now. I'm just double checking. Alright, altimeters are set. I think we're good to go, guys. We got our flaps set. We got our engines on. Ground power is disconnected. We do have our route programmed in. So if we come here, look at the map, and we scroll out, we're going to be able to see that route leaving here, which is right here. So there you go. It's giving us this dotted line because it says we're running from runway 25 left, which to me makes sense. But let's go ahead and get on ground and see what they say. So there's ground, and then of course we want to put in the frequencies for the tower. So if we go here to frequencies, and we're going to come up, we're leaving on runway 25 left. Tower, there's again some differences in towers, whether it's 13390 or 12095. So then of course we got to go back here, got to make this come up, and we got to read this. So the tower, we're leaving on the south tower, so 12095 will essentially be, we'll just do it this way since we're already right here. It's essentially going to be our frequency that we need to get onto tower, and then we'll put this in the backup 125.2. Switch that over. That's now in our backup where our ATIS was. So what time is it? Yeah, the current ATIS of whiskey should still be current. So now all we have to do over here is come and turn on our comms. Now we have comms back on.
Tower November 22 Yankee holding shore runway 29 ready for departure.
We'll wait for this traffic to finish up here.
222 Yankee, San Luis Tower, state direction of flight.
We're going to the south to Santa Maria.
Hydrate a little bit here.
222 Yankee, runway 29er, clear for takeoff, make left downwind departure.
To United, Yankee.
We're 628 Tango Papa, taxi to parking via Alpha. Parking via Alpha, 628 Tango Papa.
Los Angeles ground, November 350 Kilo Tango, information whiskey on board. Ready for taxi, and we are located close to Atlantic Aviation near Alpha 6 taxiway.
We're 350 Kilo Tango, LA ground, runway 25 left, taxi via Alpha Foxtrot.
25 left, Alpha Foxtrot, November 350 Tango. Alright, just as we anticipated, 25 left, Alpha Foxtrot. So let's take a look at that. So here's Alpha, and if we simply want to look where Foxtrot is at, we'll be making our turn onto the runway here at Foxtrot, which is basically the end of, well, not the end of the taxiway, but the last possible left that we can make. So there we go. So we'll leave it on this prior to us getting out of here.
24 and make closed right traffic 398.
All right, and just, one thing else we need to do before we get into the taxi is let's come to the charts. And one thing that I didn't show you guys is our departures, and we want to do the Lady J4 RNAV. So this is just giving you guys an idea kind of what the rules are, but it's already programmed in here. So essentially we need to be looking at these altitudes, but he just gave us 5,000 for our top altitude right now until they give us more. And you see it, well, top altitude right here anyways 8,000, so there's only a disparity of 3,000 feet. But we also want to come back over here. Let's do the second one so we can get the text right up of what we're supposed to do on our particular runway. So if you look here, 25 left, climb track heading 251 to 640, then climb direct to Hipper at or below 3,000, then on track 256 across Evos at or below 5,000. So we kind of have to adhere to that, believe it or not. We'll see if we can do it, because this doesn't have any vertical navigation, so I need to make sure that first point that I'm staying, let's see how far that first point is here, because it might not be a non-issue. If it's so quick, we'll be going up anyway. And so basically this is a no-brainer, because Hipper's not even, you know, it must just be very close into the vicinity, and then 5,000 Evos below it and below it. So I don't see a problem in doing any of that. They'll probably give us direct. At any rate, folks, let's release that parking brake. Let's look left and look right.
It's clear, but kind of quiet.
And let's get out of here. All right. Let's get our yoke back up. And again, if the yoke provides us with any type of problem, we'll get it out of the way. So what we'll do here, let's come over here, and parking brake is released.
Santa Barbara ground, November 9090 Bravo, ready to taxi with Golf.
November 75746, radar contact departure.
Over to departure, 757.
So, second recorded flight in this aircraft.
November 9090 Bravo, are you just taxiing for the pattern, or do you have a request?
Okay, we're going to find Alpha 6 here.
I'm going to head east and land at Van Nuys.
We're 90 Bravo, roger. Make your request on the clearance frequency, please.
Now, you guys have been noticing that I have been flying on VATSIM, and you can see that there's going to be notable differences in terms of the level of air traffic control and the real procedures that you need to do with Pilotedge. And I know you guys probably have already seen other videos and know the difference, but it is quite significant. I think I'll have to, my mouse likes to dance around, so let me connect and reconnect my joystick. There we go. Now, as you can see here, it shouldn't be sliding up as I advance my throttles. Alright, last flight into here was in a Boeing 747-800 with a cargo configuration for at Atlas Air, I should say. This thing's pulling to the left a little bit. Alright, cruising right along. Here's Golf.
On ground was Skyhawk November 6306 Foxtrot at the east ramp. Just in taxi for second departure.
For 6306 Foxtrot, San Luis ground, runway 29er, taxi via Alpha.
Runway 29er had to be Alpha, 06 Foxtrot.
Alright, we're still going to keep going. Let's see what this taxiway is over here. Alpha Foxtrot. The next one should be Foxtrot. I can see the windsock down there, so it's way down there on the left. look down and look at some other stuff, but you can't really. This one's pulling to the left. Right now I'm flying with an X-52 Professional from Citation or Logitech. I think they bought them over, I don't know. I'm planning, hopefully Santa Claus brings me an actual different flight yoke system with rudder pedals and all that, so
Number 630,
hopefully that works out for us.
Left, close traffic, report midfield downwind each pass, runway 29er, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, make left approach traffic.
Alright. So if there is something we'll get in trouble with today, it'll be not exactly adhering to the departure.
Fullerton Tower, Cessna 523
this is Foxtrot here.
Power off 180 landing.
398, short approach approved, runway 24, clear for the option.
Short approach approved, clear for the option 398.
Alright.
Lockman Bullhead Towers, Clank 737, Quebec Foxtrot, 15 miles south inbound for full stop landing with you.
One thing I do want to make sure is that we have our flight director. That'll
Number 737, Quebec
at least give us a hand
report 3 mile final,
with
runway
this
34.
departure.
Runway 34 will
Alright.
3 mile final.
Let's make sure the parking brake is out and set, and it is. And we need to come down here. Let's see, flight director off.
4,000 feet directly overhead.
Okay, there we go. Now the flight director will be on, which is that magenta situation there, which is good.
For 204 Lima,
and I believe we're good to go, so let's come over here and go ahead and switch our frequencies.
Clear touch to go, right downwind for 21.
And then now we can put our departure frequency in there, which is 1252. And we're going to enter that. Now you see departure 1252, but we're still on our tower frequency. Los Angeles Tower, November 350, Kilo Tango on Foxtrot, holding short runway 25 left, ready for departure. Alright.
We're 350, Kilo Tango, Los Angeles Tower, runway 25 left, cleared for takeoff.
25 left, clear for takeoff, number 350, Kilo Tango. Alright, so 25 left is clear for takeoff. So let's come up here. And now let's get our landing lights on. And
November 1 Delta Bravo,
we also need to turn our
31 left, clear to land.
31 left, clear to land, November 1 Delta Bravo.
recognition and anti-collision lights. And double check where our switches are here. We get up, we need to hit autopilot yaw damper, then nav, and then we'll do IAS climb, I suppose. We'll see, this ought to be interesting, since the buttons are down there, which I always hated. Alright, let's come over here. Parking brake is released. Okay, final looks clear. Alright, everything is clear there. Not following the yellow line on purpose. Come out here and get as much of a wide turn, turn on the runway. Alright.
At Santa Monica Tower, Bonanza 204 Lima Echo, we're going to be heading northbound on the go.
For Lima Echo, roger, right turn out the shoreline approved.
Right turn to the shoreline approved, Bonanza 4 Lima Echo.
Alright, we look to be all straightened out. Takeoff power is set. Alright, now she's pulling to the right.
Information board, 8 miles from north, request inbound for full stop.
Alright, rotate.
We're 222 Yankee, Santa Maria Tower,
Positive rate.
location.
Trim it down slightly.
Northwest.
Alright, and
222 Yankee, enter right
let's
down
come
on
here.
runway 30, report midfield.
Go IAS climb and nav, and then we'll go autopilot and yaw damper on. And we're gonna go flaps up. Alright, now we are following our prescribed course. We are climbing in altitude, of course, up to 5,000 feet. Let's go ahead, keep landing lights on. So we can turn the recognition light off.
We're 398, runway 24, clear for the option.
24 clear for the option 398.
doing an IAS climb, but we most certainly will have to manage our speed. We've only been cleared to 5,000. He should be switching us over to departure here in a second. Alright, we're about to level out here.
San Luis Tower, Skyhawk 06 Foxtrot, reporting midfield, for runway 29er, approaching go.
You can see our speed picking up now. Just double checking.
06 Foxtrot,
Tops are all the way up and clean.
Clear for the option, runway 29er.
So that's looking good. And you look over here, gears up and clean. Alright, watching our speed here. Los Angeles Tower, number 350 Kilo Tango. You want us to switch over to departure, sir?
0 Kilo Tango, contact departure.
On over to departure, number 350 Kilo Tango.
6.7.
Los Angeles departure, number 350 Kilo Tango, 5,000.
Citation 350 Kilo Tango, SoCal departure, radar contact. Climb and maintain 13,000.
13,000 over 350 Kilo Tango. Alright, so we're going to go up to 13,000.
Altimeter 3018, this is November.
So we'll get this going here. And then we're going to just
approach.
do
Good evening, Bonanza.
we'll do a vertical speed climb here this time.
Request flight following.
So let's do that.
Number 204 Lima Echo, SoCal approach, squawk 3775 and ident.
And we're up to about 1,000 feet per minute. So let's go, let's see, a few more clicks.
Number 350 Kilo Tango, contact Los Angeles Center 135.5.
135.5, number 350 Kilo Tango. Alright, so we're going 135.5.
Approach number 5, Lima. Wheeling 5 to the right, please.
Alright,
Southwest
let me do my...
2304 Los Angeles Center, Las Vegas, altimeter 3031.
There we go.
4304.
Now let's make sure we increase to 13,000.
5 Juliet Lima, SoCal approach. Expect the visual approach rate 31 left, Palm Springs altimeter 3027.
Alright, so how are we doing here? We got stuff going, but we're ascending very slowly.
Approach rate 31 right.
There we go. We essentially have to
Walker 306, Los Angeles Center, good evening.
raise our rate of climb. Los Angeles Center, number 350 Kilo Tango, 6,300, climbing 13,000.
Number 350 Kilo Tango, LA Center, climb maintain flight level 230.
Up to flight level 230, number 350 Kilo Tango. Alright, now we've got 230, so let's zoom in on this. Alright, we are getting ready to start our descent to flight level 240. So let us go ahead and make concessions for that. At flight level 270, we have to notify her that we're descending below flight level 270. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do the vertical speed mode. So down here, we're going to hit vertical speed. We're going to, don't forget to hit the altitude selector, and we are going to start descending on down. Alright, and we've got about and we'll make it a little bit more interesting than that. We'll get it about 1,500 feet per minute or so, maybe a little bit more. About 1,600 feet per minute, and come back on the power so that we don't overspeed. Once we get to flight level 270, of course, we need to indicate that we are leaving flight level 270. We got the wonderful altimeter right here. We just do have to keep an eye on our speed. So that's everything looking good as far as our descent profile for now. Now what we want to do is go to airport info. We want to view the charts there. Then we want to get some airport info there. And then, of course, we want to get the ATIS. All right, which is going to be 12055. All right, 12055. Plugged in for the COM 2. Let's look at which runways they have there. They basically have the one strip here. They got runway 2 or 20. Then they have runway 14 and 32. So no worries there. All right. Let's go back here. Come back over to the map. Cognizant of our speed. And we'll wait to do our ATIS. Once we descend below flight level 270. Center, November 350 Kilo Tango is at flight level 270, continuing our descent, applies discretion down to flight level 240.
Citation 0 Kilo Tango, taking contact Oakland Center now 132.2.
Oakland Center 132.2, we'll see you at November 350 Kilo Tango. Alright, 1322. So 1322, enter, verify it says Oakland Center, so we got the right frequency. Oakland Center, number 350 Kilo Tango, flight level 263, descending flight level 240.
For 350 Kilo Tango, Oakland Center, descend 18, flight level 190.
Okay, continue descent down to flight level 190, number 350 Kilo Tango. Okay, so we're going to continue our descent to flight level 190. Now that altitude selector still won't matter because the button is pushed because it hasn't met its requirement yet for extinguishing itself. So we'll continue that descent to flight level 190. And we can see we still have that alt select on here in the ES mode, which a lot of the times you guys will hear me refer to it as the versus mode, but it's not, it's vertical speed. So don't let me throw you off with my bad verbiage, but that's what it is. Alright folks, we're going to continue to maximize our descent. Now let's go ahead and monitor.
And maintain 6,000 safe approach request.
Down to 6,000, and it looks like we can do the visual for runway 14 since the winds are calm at this point.
Roger, expect visual approach.
Okay, down to 6,000, expected visual approach, 14, number 350. Okay, so down to 6,000 we go.
3 Vector Flagstaff, altimeter 3029 5 Sierra.
Alright, altitude select versus, you guys know the drill.
26 Alpha, Medford, altimeter 3037.
Alright. We're down at about 1,500 feet per minute, but I want to go on a more aggressive descent than that. We'll assume the standard 1,800 feet per minute. Once we get to 10,000, you guys got to remind me to put my landing lights on. We're hovering right now at about 257 knots, which is perfect. Now that we are direct, what I'm going to do, let me make sure the heading is squared up, which it is. Now I'm going to put this into heading mode. Now we're on heading mode, direct to the field. Now essentially here, I can come and type in our approach. And we're going to do our nav. Let's see. Okay, we'll just do vectors. And we'll do load and activate the approach. And we're just going to do that now for a visual reference. So she's probably going to give us heading to be downwind on either side, whatever the appropriate side is. And then that's where we'll go ahead and take the approach, and the runway's right here. So let's look at that in terms of, well, let's check our speed and how our aircraft's doing. We're still descending 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead and get those landing lights on. Landing lights are on, and let's go ahead and get our recognition light on as well. And then once we get closer, again, we're going to be dropping. Let's see, what's our speed now? We're at 248, so we're under the 250 for the 10,000 mark. Again, let's get back here. And as you can see, this is the QD is the last point before we get to the runway. All right. We can also look at that on the chart here if we would like to. Here's runway 14. It's coming up already because that's what we programmed in. We'll be downwind, and then again, like I said, a QD is the last waypoint until we hit that runway. And we're supposed to be at a QD, if you look here, 1,700 feet on down with almost a 3 degrees down angle of attack to get down to the runway. Alright, right at 250 speed mark. Keep this on the map here again. This is all going to be for visual reference for us to get to the field, which is always a good idea. Now if you look here, we are directly in front of the runway, so we can see the field. The runway is right here. So that is where we will be coming to. We have a clear view of it. So if you look here, it's right off our 12 o'clock. So it looks like we're already to the left of it, so she's probably going to keep us left downwind and then swing us back around. Now we're going to keep our speed pretty low. Bring it down and keep our speed about 210. All right, steady as she goes. Alright, power and CTAF is 118.5. Alright, gonna pick up on the speed a little bit. On the power. Again, I'm looking at my Navigraph charts, 118.5.
There's your Kilo Tango, the airport, 12 o'clock, 5 miles, reported set.
November 350 Kilo Tango does have the field in sight.
There's your Kilo Tango, clear official approach, report out for cancellation. Airborne this frequency, you're on the ground within 5 minutes of landing on 122.2. Change device frequency approved.
Okay, we'll go over to Unicom 122.2. Change advisory is approved, and we'll talk to you on the ground and cancel IFR from number 350 Kilo Tango. Alright, so Unicom here is actually not 122.2. Unicom is actually 122.9 or 5. So it looks like we're on our own. See, you can see that's the Charles Short's Unicom. So let's go ahead and report that. Charles Schultz, Sonoma County, November 350 Kilo Tango, now passing over the field at 6,000 feet. We'll be doing a visual approach for runway 14 full stop for Charles Schultz, Sonoma County. Alright, so we did do that broadcast. So now that we are on our own, we can use all of our visual cues to do what we need to do. So essentially, I'm going to get the aircraft down to 5,000, which is where we should be at our first descent approach. Alright, same thing, altitude select versus, and we're going on down. this in ED, if you look here on the charts, ED is supposed to be at 3,300, and it looks like the best bet here, stay at 3,000, and we can still even do a right turn if we want to come all the way back. We'll see. So let's go ahead and actually do 3,000. And what did we say it was? 300? 3,300. So we'll continue to go down to 3,300, folks. Alright, and of course, let's go ahead and turn our turbine sync off. Alright. I think we could go ahead and make a complete left turn back to basically heading 140, get eyes on the field. Landing lights are on. The engine sync is off. We didn't hit any major icing situations where we need that, so we're good there. And then here in a second, we're just going to take it manual and have some fun. Just make sure we are crossing ED. That is where we need to be, 3,300. And essentially we'll make our turn and go back and find the field. Get a good visual. And then of course after ED, if we come down and look here, after ED we need to be at 1,700 at UC, but it doesn't have to be exact simply because we are doing a visual. So we're pretty much there, folks. Alright, it's time to have some fun. I'm going to keep the yaw damper on, but
autopilot.
Disconnect autopilot.
Autopilot.
Alright, folks. It's my aircraft. We are going to swing this thing around. Try to keep some altitude here. Once we swing around, I'm going to drop the flaps. Should be getting a view of the field here shortly. There is the field.
$2,500.
All right. Let's come here to the map. Alright. And for whatever reason, we are pretty much direct the field. It looks like we're going to pass over it, which is no problem. Alright, we're going one stage of flaps. Put in a little extra power here. Let's come down here really quick. Alright, I thought I had overshot it. But I don't Doesn't look like I overshot the field. Looks like it should be right in front of us. So let's look for it. Alright, so we do have the field right in front of us. I do see the field. It's way out there off in the distance. Let's maintain our altitude here. Speed. And there's the runway right there. So we're doing good, folks. I have a visual on it. I thought we had overshot it. That's why you have to be super cognizant of where we are at. Here in a second we'll get gear down and we'll get our final preparations for landing. Is coming down. Three green. Come back on the power a little bit. All right, we are going to flaps full. Looking good. Runway elevation is about only 100 and something feet. Alright, I'm satisfied at my height here. And again, this is visual, so poppy lights there where you're probably too low, but we'll catch up to them. Looks like we got one red on the left. Now we're almost on the right glide slope here.
500.
Now we are. We have two red, two white.
400.
A little low. Stall. There we go. Alright, get a little bit of the stall speed there. Was kind of playing around. I didn't know what it was. I found out what it was. It's okay. That was just the feature of the aircraft which shakes the flight controls if you're about to stall. Gotta play around with it when you don't fly it. Like I said, this is the second time I'm flying this aircraft. Alright.
40, 30, 20, 10.
Let's float it for a nice touchdown here. There we go. Nose is down. Have our trusty air brakes out. No need for reverses on this. Almost a 60 knot where we can use the wheel brakes. Alright. 60 knots. Looks like we probably did make that Alpha 5 or whatever it is. Yep, it's Alpha 5 that we planned on. Which is perfect. Right in the hangar area, guys. That's why we didn't need our reverse thrusters. Let's get those spoilers back up. Alright. Alright, we need to contact 1222. And let's get our landing lights off. Let's see. 122, that's Unicom. Oakland Center, number 350 Kilo Tango is clear of runway 14 on Alpha 5, counts in IFR at this time.
30 Kilo Tango IFR cancellation received. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. You have a good night as well. Happy holidays. Number 350 Kilo Tango. Alright.
Happy holidays.
Thanks so much. Alright, so we have essentially made it. Flaps are up. Spoilers are up. And we're just parking straight ahead. Go right in front of that hangar, kind of where we plan. So not a bad second flight in this. It's actually a pretty nice aircraft to fly. Make our little turn here.
Spokane clearance, good evening. Aero 9350 Kilo is ready to copy IFR to Tri-Cities.
Aero 9350 Kilo Spokane clearance, clear to Tri-Cities Airport. Spokane 6 departure. Spokane as filed. Maintain 6000, departure frequency 123.75, squawk 4741.
Alright, we're cleared to Tri-Cities via the Spokane 6, and then as filed, climb and maintain 6000, departure frequency 123.75, squawk 4741. Aero 9350 Kilo.
Aero 50 Kilo, read back correct. 326 Alpha, contact Oakland Center 132.2. Vision 26 Alpha 132.2.
$100.